Managing your VA business and your clients' work at the same time is a lot. You've got your own leads to track, your own admin to stay on top of, and then you're also inside multiple clients' accounts trying to keep track of what's happening where, right? Okay, if you're new here, I'm Samantha and I help online service based business owners save time, reduce overwhelm, and build a business that runs smoothly, even in the hard seasons. Now, before doing what I do now, I was a VA and I was already using Asana the whole time I was doing that work, which means I got to figure out firsthand how to set it up to actually handle both sides, your own business and your clients. So that's what I'm walking you through today. By the end of this video, you'll have a working Asana setup built specifically around what a VA needs. I'm going to show you two main systems worth setting up first. One for tracking leads and one for managing your clients. Now, if you want to subscribe so you don't miss a future Asana video, please do. Okay, now let's get into it. Okay, so before we build anything, I want to show you how Asana is organized because if you set this up the wrong way from the start, it gets messy fast and you'll end up wanting to start over. We don't want that. So at the top level, you have your organization. That's your whole Asana account. And then inside that, you create teams. And then inside your teams, you create projects. And then you have tasks that live inside your projects. So it goes your organization, teams, projects, tasks. So we're going to be focusing on two main systems today. The first one is for tracking your leads. So when it comes to your lead tracker, the team you put it under really depends on how you think of it. I've seen it placed inside a CRM team and inside a business hub team. Personally, though, I like to put it under marketing. That's just the way my brain works. It fits there in my brain. So that's what I'll be showing you today. But just know that it can be super flexible and this isn't a rule that you have to follow. That's the beauty of Asana systems. You can really customize it to work for the way that your brain works. Okay, so let's create our first team. So we're going to go over to the People tab here, and we're going to click this plus button here, and then we're going to create that marketing team. Go create new team, and it'll start creating it. So this is the team where all of your marketing efforts are going to belong. Your social media, email newsletter, YouTube, anything to do with marketing your VA business, right? And then the second team we're going to create is for your clients. So we'll click this plus button here again, and we'll call it client management. And I'm just going to put demo at the end here because I actually already have a team called client management. We'll go create new team. Okay, so inside your client management team, each client is going to get their own project. And so the reason that you separate each client into their own project is practical. When you're doing work for a client, you want to be looking at their stuff only. Now, if you want to skip building this from scratch and just have a full guided course that walks you through setting up your entire Asana system, that's what I created my course Asana Made Simple for. I'll put the link in the description in case you want to check that out. But just know that it was made specifically with VAs in mind, and it will help you be successful with Asana even if you've had trouble sticking with tools in the past. So go down to that link and check it out when you're ready. Okay, so now we're going to start building out the projects. So in your marketing team, we're going to create your lead tracker project. Okay, so we're going to click create work and click new team project. Then we're going to start with a blank project for the purposes of this video. Yes. What would you like?
You're going to create a project. I call it something like leads or leads tracker.
Hey, I haven't said that part yet. Okay, bye guys. Love you. See you after. Okay, now we have some peace and quiet. They have left to go to the grandparents for a short while this morning. Okay, so where was I? I was going to say what my daughter just said. I like to call it something like leads or leads tracker. Okay, she's reading my notes here. Okay, so we will call it leads just for the purposes of this video and click continue. Now, when you create a new project, Asana is going to ask you to choose a layout. You can choose multiples. I recommend either list or board view for this one. You'll see why in a second. So I will just set it. I'll give it the list and the board view so that I can show you both. But I'm going to focus on the board view for this example, but I will go back and show you what it looks like in list view as well. If you're a visual person, board view is going to be really great for you because it gives you columns, you can add images, and columns can be really great for lead tracking because you can move leads through the different stages in the pipeline. So you're going to create columns for each stage. So here's what I would suggest for a VA. So we're going to change this untitled section to being applied or reached out. Okay, and then we're going to add another section. Well, the applied or reached out, this is where you put any job posts you've applied to or anyone that you've done any like cold outreach to. And then this next section we're going to call cold lead. This is for like brand new people to you who have reached out, maybe inquiring about your services. And then we're going to put warm lead here. And this is for people who have filled out an application form and seem really ready to take action, you know, those like warmer leads. And then we're going to add another one for discovery call. These are the people who are booked in for a discovery call with you or a clarity call, whatever you like to call it. But for this purposes of this, I'm going to put discovery call. And then we're going to add another section, converted to client. This is for the people who have signed on to be your client. So once you've landed the client, they move into this one. And then we're going to do one for ghost because, you know, we always get the ghosts. Happens way too often, but I do like to track those who ghost just so I can look back and see. I like to see the data. And then we're going to do another one we're going to call it not ICA. So ICA stands for ideal client avatar. So basically those who you have determined are not the right fit for your services go into this section. Then we're going to add another section for declined. This one obviously is anyone who, you know, says no to you. And then we're going to add another one for referred out, just in case you know anyone. If you referred them to someone else that you do know that they might be a better fit with, you can put those there. Okay, now for each lead, you create a task. So we'll just, for example, put it here. So we'll put, let's say her name is Susie. so we put the task as the person's name or the company. And then inside that task, you can store everything. You can put the date they applied or reached out, a link to their website or the job posting, their budget if you know it, the services they're looking for, notes from your discovery call, anything you got all in one place attached to that person. So you just type it right in the description here. And then when something changes, they booked a call, they signed on, you just drag them into that column. So if you started with applied here, then once they've booked the discovery call, you move them over there, and you can also attach a date to it at that point. And then you can move them to converted client when they convert to client, or ghost, or not, you know, any of these, whichever applies, right? And then the really great thing about this system is you can refer back to your notes to look for patterns or things that may have went well or poorly throughout the process, right? This is a great documentation to have and look back on. And honestly, this is so much better than trying to keep track of this in your inbox or in a spreadsheet because you can see your whole pipeline at a glance and you can assign these tasks to yourself to make sure you're following up and everything. And then you also know exactly who's where and what needs to happen next. Okay, so now we're going to go over to your client management. Oh, I forgot. I was going to show you the leads in the list view as well. So here's the list view. Here's what it looks like in list view. Some people prefer the list view for this. Some people prefer the board view. And you can switch between them as you're discovering which you like. It carries over all of the same information. You can see all the sections are there. Susie is still there. So you can switch back and forth or set one as your default like this if you decide that's the one that you want to view it as going forward. All right, now let's go over to the client management team. So we are going to go create work again and create a new team project. So again, this is where each active client gets their own project, right? So we're going to start with blank project again. And we're going to name it after the client. So let's say Susie signed, and we're creating did I use a Z before or did I use a S? I don't remember. Anyway, Susie, however she spells it, we're going to create a client project for her because we're assuming that she signed on for the purposes of this video, right? And now for the layout here, I do suggest the list view. Again, you can play around with the other layouts, but for this, I'm going to use the list view. So we're going to click create project. I like the list view because it gives you kind of more flexibility for organizing different types of tasks. Okay, so then in each client project, you are going to create sections again. Your sections are basically the categories within the project, right? So here's what I recommend for a client project. So we're going to start with important info. So this is where you put a task that holds like the key details about this client. So like their rate, their start date, their login information, links to important docs. So you would just add it here like important links, for example, and then you would put everything inside of that task in the description. So anything that you want to keep track of related to that client, right? Any important like quick links, anything like that. And this might sound basic, but it's actually huge because when you're about to say jump on a client call, or you need to find their login information fast, right? You don't want to be digging through emails. Instead, it's all right here within that client project. Okay, so the next section that we're going to create, is going to be onboarding. Onboarding. This is your checklist of everything that needs to happen when a new client starts. So, for example, send, if I could type, send the contract, confirm payment, send the welcome packet, things like that, right? Schedule the kickoff call. All of these steps live here as tasks so that nothing falls through the cracks. Make sure to assign them to yourself with a due date to make sure that you actually get them done. Okay, and then we're going to do one for ongoing work. This is where the actual like recurring work lives. So if you do the same things for this client every week, like posting to social media, sending a report, reviewing analytics, those go here as recurring tasks. So I'm going to put review, analytics. And so then to make the task recurring, you open it, you click on the due date, say for tomorrow, and then you click this set to repeat icon here, and then you can set it to repeat like weekly, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, for example. You can do daily, weekly, monthly, whatever fits, or you can do custom. But every time you complete it, a new one automatically appears for the next cycle. And then the last section is for offboarding. This is for when you're wrapping things up with a client. So things like sending a final invoice. I'm saying what I'm saying, but send a final invoice is the better way to put it as a task. Oh my gosh, invoice. Okay. Typing and remembering what I'm saying at the same time is difficult. Okay, so things like sending a final invoice, delivering any final assets, removing access, having this ready to go means you're not scrambling when the time comes. Okay, so now one more thing about client management as a VA specifically. You're often working inside your clients' Asana accounts too, not just your own. Now, the way you handle that is you get added as a guest to their account. You can actually switch between accounts. Right here. So this is just my demo account, so I don't actually have any other accounts in here, but you would have them show up right here in a list for you. See, like you can add another account here, or when people invite you to their Asana account, it will show up in a list right here, and then you just click one, and then it will open a new tab for your client's organization, so that you can easily like toggle between the two and flip between your account and theirs without logging in and out. It's really great, and it's seamless once it's all set up. Okay, so now you've got that lead tracker that shows you your whole pipeline, and you have a client management system that keeps everything for each client in one place, and you know how to switch between your account and your client's accounts. This system works because everything has a home. You're not trying to remember where you put something, you know where it is now, right? So now once you actually have your clients in here and you're doing the day-to-day work, there are a lot of ways to make that even more efficient. And that's exactly what I cover in this video on client management for virtual service providers. So go check that one out next. I hope this video was helpful for you, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.